Good afternoon, card fans. With us today, we have on the champion of Adelaide. We've got Nick Heilbronn on, who just recently won the Adelaide Regionals. Congratulations on that, Nick.
Thanks.
So for those of you who don't know, would you like to introduce yourself to the people, Nick?
I guess I'm originally a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player. But then when One Piece came out, a bunch of the boys ended up playing it, so I got into it pretty early on, and I've been pretty competitive or competitive-wise in it since. So yeah.
Yeah. And apart from the win, you've got a couple of pretty nifty results there, a couple of top 16s and top 32s.
I think a top 16, probably like 6 or 7 top 32s. I think I've got I've finished 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th, I think.
Yeah.
And then plenty of top 64s, which don't really matter. But yeah, I've bubbled out plenty of times, and I haven't bubbled in yet, but we'll see. We might get lucky one day.
Yeah, cool. So, talk me through that. How did, from my perspective, so I was like, I went 4-4 at Adelaide.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, didn't get anything. You got like 129th. But so when you're at that level and you're bubbling out that often, is that how does that impact on your morale there?
I mean, you can take it two ways. The first way is like, you're at least doing well enough that you're up there and you're consistently up there. But I mean, you could also, I guess, take it as a bit of a negative, like, you're not kind of converting it, which can be a bit of a thing that I guess I do to myself sometimes. But it's a card game. There's a lot of variance. It's best of ones. So coming from Yu-Gi-Oh best of threes into best of ones is, a bit of a, I'm not a big fan of it, but I enjoy the game. You just take it on the chin a little bit. It's like you did well enough to get up there, and at least you got something for it. But yeah, I mean, it's not fun. It's definitely not fun getting like 18th. And I've had a few times where like I'll be like 5th or 6th in Swiss before the last round, and I'll lose, and I'll drop to like, I think I dropped to 18th that time, and it's like, that's a bit of a hit because you kind of think you're going to get it no matter what, and you don't. So, but it is what it is. You just kind of take in your stride. I think I've finished 33rd, 65th twice each as well. So like, I've
Just bubbling out.
I always just get on the outside, it is what it is. You just take it in your stride, and at least you're doing semi well. If that makes it, you're consistent with it. That's the main thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that consistency must be like something else to come across there. That's certainly not in my league. But coming in from Yu-Gi-Oh into One Piece, was it the IP that brought you in, or was it your friends that solely brought you in?
No, a few of the boys. So like Declan and Braden and Greg, they were all really keen onto it. And then I got none of the first set. Like, they were really into it. I was like, oh, I'm going to keep playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Even though I really did not like Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time. It was more just I was doing well, winning events, topping events, and it was more of a social thing at that time. But it was, when I saw all them get into it, I was like, okay. So I just bought purple structures and staunched a bunch of random commons and played Kaido and enjoyed the way the game played. And then, went from there. I was doing well at events, and it just kind of sparked the interest. And then I started watching more of the anime and stuff like that. And here we are.
Yeah, nice. So talk to us about Adelaide and your preparation for Adelaide. You played Buggy. What was the choice behind playing Buggy the Clown?
I played Buggy at Sydney. I've kind of played Buggy all this format. I mean, the support helps. Like, the support was crazy. So like the Croc Mihawk obviously is just the only thing the deck was really missing. And I played it for Sydney. I was undefeated till round 6, I believe, and I lost to Fabian Chalice. He's a fairly well-known player. He's a very, very good player. And then I think I won the next round, and then I lost the next 2. I versed a really good player named Josh. It was just he played really well, and I didn't draw very well, and he just it was a good game. And then the last round I just hard bricked, so I went from X1 or XO up to 5 or 6 rounds to X3 and getting like 54th or something. I don't know. That was very tilting for me because I prepared a lot for that event. Like, we played tested a lot, and the only bad matchup I felt was GP Luffy, and I played one and I beat the one I played. And so I was, I was fairly confident into every other deck. But it happens, and I think I lost. I think I lost every dice roll that day. I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I was on a streak of like something like 30 dice roll losses, and then I'm terrible at it. And then yeah, so the format didn't change.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
still kind of just like GP was my only matchup that was fairly hard. Like it's not great at all, but I thought I know how to play the deck. I wasn't testing an insane amount because it was the only I wasn't playing. I didn't get to play the online, so
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
like I know how to play against every other deck. I've got very very good testing people. Like Braden Turner's a very very good player. He's in my testing group, and then you get like Cam Steven, Declan Flag, all of them. They all play top decks. They're all in like I play locals with most of them. Otherwise, half of them are very very close friends that I test with all the time. So I didn't. I think I only played 6 locals in like the month leading up, if not 2 months. Like I didn't play a whole lot because I was pretty okay with what I was going to play, and I knew every game plan.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, I like the deck. The deck's just super fun. I think it's stronger than people give it credit for. But this format is very matchup dependent. If you get good matchups, you go a long way. So I think I had one bad matchup. I think it was one GP Luffy. But yeah, I like test against Braden a lot. He's a really, really good player and he plays mainly GP and I play GP. So I'm pretty well versed in it and what to do. So, yeah, I think my only loss in Swiss was to Fabian again. He was on Blackbeard this time and I threw the game. I played. That was the worst game I've played in a long time. I don't know what it was. I discarded the wrong card for leader ability, and then that was the only misplay. But it was the misplay that cost me the game. And then from
Yeah.
then on, it was so yeah. So I played pretty bad. But other than that, yeah, I don't think it's bad. I think it's fairly good. This format. It's good against. It's very favorable against Betty. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely favored against UP if you get to go first, and going second, I think it's probably 50-50.
Yeah.
And then it's good against Rogue. Like it's fairly good
Yeah.
against anything like that.
Yeah.
And I can't win dice roll. I think I won 2 or 3 dice rolls the whole day. I think I won 2, maybe 3. Like I can't win dice rolls to save my life. So there's no point in me trying for something that needs to curve a certain way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
deck wants to go first, but it's very good at going either. It's not really fast. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The at Sydney as well, I didn't win a single dice roll
Mm,
until the last one. And I said, can we do low roll? Because I haven't
mm,
won a single one. And we did low roll and I won. So
mm.
maybe there's something there for you. You can
That
start
was that
asking
was
for.
the one dice roll I won that weekend. The guy said low roll as a joke, and I was like, yeah, okay. And then I rolled a 2, and I was like, you're not gonna beat me. I think you rolled 11. I was like, yeah. I mean, I wish I could do more low rolls, but I don't know what it is. It's not the dice. I've changed dice.
Yeah.
It's just luck. It is what it is. But you deal with it and see what happens.
So, like performing there with it. So you were comfortable with that deck. And do you think that's super important going into a regional event, especially like Adelaide, where you have Swiss and Top Cut all in one day?
Yeah, yeah. You got to. I mean, one thing is being comfortable with your deck, but the other thing is the matchups. Like, it's very, very hard, and very few people can go into an event with limited practice, limited knowledge of a deck, and let alone the matchups of the deck and do well. Like, it's just not a recipe for success, and it's not something that I doubt many people do it, and the few people that do probably don't see a lot of success.
Yeah.
It's probably more out of tilt than anything, but yeah, you've got to, especially when you're versus the very very good players, you got to know what you need to do in that certain matchup and what your deck does and the strengths and weaknesses and stuff. And yeah, picking up a random deck or a deck that you know half of what to do with is just it's never the
Yeah.
option.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, because I did notice in Adelaide, there was a lot of people that were playing Betty that clearly hadn't played it very much,
Yeah,
but they came in with the thing like thinking, oh, this is the deck that beats
yeah,
Blue Purple.
yeah,
So I'm just going to bring that and play it, and
yeah,
I'll win.
yeah.
And I was like playing those people, and I was like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. Like,
Yeah, there was heaps of Betty and there was heaps of UP. I think out of my 8 rounds, 7 rounds, I had a Betty and a UP either side of me, yet I only versed one UP and Swiss and no Betty.
yeah, right,
Yeah,
yeah,
round 2, I think I versed BP, but it was UP. But I versed no no, I guess one UP, one no Betty in Swiss,
Yeah.
and they were all around me. Like they were, no matter what, always next to me. But it was just, yeah, I guess a bit unlucky that I didn't get to Versity. It didn't, obviously, it didn't matter in the end. But um, yeah, that was the other thing. Like because of the matchups, I wanted to take something that doesn't just lose to multiple decks. I'm fine going in thinking that GP might not be a great matchup, but most of the other matchups I feel favored in, at least.
Yeah. So in that instance then, where you're worried about that specific matchup, how does that become a focus at the expense of everything else because you already feel comfortable into those?
Um,
Because I know from my perspective, because I've always played Bonnie, there's been instances where I've been playing and I'm like, oh, this is my bad matchup. And I focus on that matchup so much that I sort of like forget not forget how to play other stuff, but I don't have the practice into them.
Tunnel vision, yeah.
Yeah.
I think a little bit. I think the thing that I used to do, I think, especially when I was younger, like playing Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, is if I versed something that I was not favored into, my mind would immediately go to, oh, this is probably a loss. I'm not favored into this matchup. Instead of just the easiest thing to do is just to lock in, do what you're supposed to do, and then hope that it comes off and kind of adapt to what happens during the game. But yeah, I'm not really. I'm lucky enough that like the group I test with is diverse enough that I can test against a lot of stuff. But I mean, if there is a matchup that I'm struggling against, or I think even if it's favored, I feel like I'm not doing very well into it, that I'll play a lot more of to get better at it. But nah, I think after a certain period of time, like you get kind of engraved of how to play a certain matchup and what you need to do, what your good cards are, stuff like that. So it just depends. But if you get the tunnel vision out, I think it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. So let's talk about Adelaide then. So Adelaide was the win, the most recent there, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge day, right? That's
Yeah,
all in one day.
yeah, all in one day.
How draining was that for you? Like, because I bombed out. I got 129th, and then I hung around for a little bit, and then said hello to a few people, watched a few games. Then I was like, oh, I'm cooked. I'm going to have some dinner and crash out. So
Mm.
I couldn't imagine playing another. Was it like another 8 games?
Uh, yeah, I think the last two, first two ate the first two, so I was done pretty much first out of everyone in top cut the first 2 rounds. But after that, it was 2-1. So they took a little bit longer, but I think it was 10 games
Yeah,
in the end. But I it's it. I prefer 2 days. 2 days is so much better. You get a bit of a break and so on, and you get to refresh and stuff like that. But I think the more annoying thing about this event was they did deck checks and two people got game losses for marked cards and stuff like that, and that dragged on. I think that took 15 minutes after we were already called over to come get our decks and start. That took an
yeah,
extra 15 minutes, and yeah, it's just I don't know. That was more annoying than anything. But to be fair, it wasn't until after the tournament that I got a bit of a headache. But during the tournament, it helps. I had a lot of the boys there, so like after every round, like they would kind of come over to me and kind of have a bit of a chat and give me a bit of a refresher. And I was getting kind of attacked after every round from Braden and stuff like that. He was pretty excited and stuff like that. So that kind of kept me going, gave me a bit of a boost. So they all hung around. So that's good. I mean, I feel like if it was by myself, you get a bit drained, you get a bit kind of, yeah. And Declan was in top cut with me as well. He made top 16. So that kind of, I was excited to kind of play with him and kind of see how far we could go. So that was a nice little boost.
yeah, yeah. The marked cards was a bit of an odd one. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, is that
Yeah.
a
It's controversial. I mean,
yeah?
the
What?
it's depending which game you play, what happens. Band or at least One Piece in Australia, they're super lenient compared to every other card game. Like if that was Yu-Gi-Oh, they would have been DQ'd. There was the specific cards were marked, and but it is what it is. It's not my place to comment on or whatever, and I'm not the judge. Um, you just play and see what happens. And but yeah, it was more the distraction that was annoying than
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, of
But
course.
yeah, I think a ruling should have just been made and stuck with. instead of dragging it out. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
we got through
and
it.
then but yeah, it's like you say, more of a distraction than anything else. But didn't seem to distract you too much because you managed to pull
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
When you are in that top cut and you're in that winning position and you're in there and you're going through and you're going through and you get to that final round, like what is happening in your head mentally there? That how are you grounding yourself? I guess is the what I'm asking there, or are you
Um,
just like peeking out of your brain, like yes, this is awesome, sort of feeding on
depends
that energy?
depends what it is. Like, I think once I'm in the game, I'm pretty locked in unless something pulls me out of it. Like, I'm pretty much just all I see is me and my opponent and what I need to do, that kind of stuff. But I mean, there was a moment because like the jump from 16 to top 8 value wise is so big nowadays. The way Bandai have now changed the pricing, so like to the end of game 2, when I was like, I think it was 3 turns out, I was like, okay, I won this game. Like I won game 1. I know I won game 2. Like there's no way I was losing. Starting to get a little bit into my head, but then you just pull yourself back and well, you got to finish the game first because if you throw one game, you never know what's going to happen the next one. But I was pretty locked in. There was a few, like top 4 was the most distracting.
Yeah, okay.
There was a few things that happened in that game that just that distracted me, and that was more annoying than anything. But yeah, once we got to the final, I mean, I was a lot like, I guess we were both pretty chill about it. Like it was just, we were both playing buggy. We were both just kind of having a good time. We were, talking a bit of smack with each other and having a good time. Like, we both, we both just had a good time. There was a fair few people watching and stuff like that. And yeah, top 4 was the most distracting, but you just kind of get on with it and keep going and hope for the best.
Yeah, cool. And that's a really good way to look at it. Like keep going, get on with it, and just do your best.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
a card game in the end of the day.
That's it. So you finish there, you win. Clearly, you've played very well. You've played the best, right, that day.
Hmm.
Um, how do you take learnings from that? Like, or is like you mentioned before that you had that one game against Blackbeard where you discarded the wrong card
Yeah, yeah.
and it sort of sent you into a tilt. Do you find that you would look back on that and think on that more than you do on any other part of the day? Or is there,
Um,
like, in terms of learnings from the day, how do you
I think that's the
take that?
one that the game I actually remember like the one that I know turn for turn exactly what happened. Like I could picture it was the GP match. There was just, I was very, very locked in. I think it was one of the best games I played in a long time. I was just, everything I did was very smooth and like correct, and it felt good. But the Blackbeard one, it hurt, but at the same time, I knew that it was my fault, it was my misplay. Like I knew what it was, so I didn't. Yeah, there was no need to kind of get upset or get annoyed about it. It was my own fault. It wasn't something that was out of my control, or I didn't get sacked or anything like that. So even then, you've got to. Especially, I think that was round 4. I think it was 3-1 after that. Like if you tilt for the rest of the day, then your chances go down, and you just don't play optimally. So it's. I think like I take a few little notes after each game of each game and stuff like that, but yeah, I mean, if you are tilted, the best thing to do is just kind of, everyone has different things. Some people, talk to friends or distract themselves. Like if I'm tilted, I'll talk it out with someone, and then I'll go, if I need to, I'll go, listen to something for a couple minutes, like some music or something or
Yeah,
whatever. But I think it's nowadays, I find it's hard for me to tilt, but there is times, obviously, things happen. It's okay. There's a lot of variance in the game, best of one, stuff like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, there's not much you can do about it. There's no point in sitting there getting upset about it.
yeah, fair enough. And so, well, let's moving forward now from Adelaide. Brisbane's coming up soon. There's a couple of onlines, I think, in between now and Brisbane.
Yeah, there's an online. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you looking now to change up the deck with the new meta, or are you still think quite comfortable with that matchup? You're like, I
Um,
gonna change up, or is there like that now? This is my deck. This is what I'm good at. I'll stick with it.
nah, I've been playing a lot of Rayleigh for OP12, so we've already tested a fair bit of OP12. But not saying that I won't play Buggy, but I don't think it's as good next format. It it has some okay match. Zora is definitely not a good matchup for it. It's just inherently bad, and if that's really popular, then it's probably going to be quite tough. depending what the ban list does, ban list
Yeah.
could help, if ban list hits UP, it's kind of just like, well, Betty will go down, UP goes down, so the good matchups go down. GP probably becomes more popular, and yeah, the new event helps clear things as well. And it's just yeah. So I don't think it's the choice for next format, but who knows? You never know. I could whip it out again. But yeah, I'd probably look to something more like GP or Rayleigh or Kuzan's fun, but I doubt I'll take that to a big event. But yeah, probably
Yeah.
GP or Rayleigh or something like that. Depends what the meta looks like, but they both look like pretty strong decks.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of it hinges on what happens tomorrow night. Is it tomorrow night? Yeah.
Yeah,
Tomorrow
I think
night,
it's
the
tomorrow
ban
night. Yeah.
list. Yeah. So, yeah, the ban list will have a huge impact on what like sort of happens, I guess, coming into the next meta. Mm. So, with that in mind, like that ban list there, and are you taking a break in between this period now? Like after you finish, like you don't play for a week or something until you know what the meta is going to be, and then sort
Nah,
of approach it.
I'll still. We tested like the day after. I think we were still playing like bugging versus UP just as like just to
Yeah,
pass the time, just to have a good time. But I'm like I'm still testing OP12 at the moment. Like I'm playing Rayleigh and having a bit of fun with Kuzan and stuff like that. So like I'll still test. It's worst case if matchups change, at least you know your own deck and how it works and all that kind of stuff. So also, it's only a week, and then once the ban list comes out, we'll probably go. I think there's two of the boys going to Adelaide, so we'll help them. Not Adelaide, New Zealand. So we'll help them
New Zealand.
test,
Yeah,
and hopefully they get a good result. And then the online's in Brisbane.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The Kuzan deck is wild, man. Like as I've seen people like deck out with
Yeah,
that deck. It
yeah.
just draws so much.
The,
I was like, what is? How is this person continuing to draw
the,
cards every single
the deck is
time? Like,
definitely fun, but I don't know how good it is. It's not. It's definitely not top tier deck, but it's fun.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
cool the way it
yeah,
plays.
yeah. In terms, so you started with Yu-Gi-Oh. Are you playing any other card games now at the moment that you sort of like dabble in, or is it are you solely focused on One Piece?
I've only played One Piece for the last 2 years, maybe three. I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh since tier format, but I'm
Yeah,
getting back in. We've just gotten back into me and a few of the boys. So I'll play it again for a little bit. If it's kind of enjoyable again, I'll keep going with it. If not, I'll play One Piece and then maybe Riftbound. But I have no faith in Riot to keep a game healthy and not kill it. So
yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, Riftbound looks cool, but yeah, don't have high hopes if it doesn't do well.
Gundam didn't pique your interest.
No, I have a few of the boys are really into it, and yeah, I didn't grow up with any of that kind of stuff. I wasn't into it. I don't like the way it looks, the way it plays. I get abused all the time by like Declan and a few of the others about not liking it, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's just not for me. I mean, you never know. If the pricing's expensive, one day I might play it just for that because all the boys are playing it. But yeah, I doubt it.
yeah. Like, how important is the prizing for you in terms of going to play at these tournaments? Is that it's major driver? Like, as a major driver fan, everyone really, but
Yeah,
knowing what those cards are, does that
I
attract you to certain
guess
events?
coming from Yu-Gi-Oh, you got nothing. Like
Yeah, deep fried,
you
like
top
an air
32,
fryer.
you top 32, and you got a mat and like a handshake and 6 packs or something. Like it was I think I won Nunda Regionals years ago, and it was like here's 12 packs and a mat.
Yeah,
It's like sweet, I could sell this mat for $80, or I could keep it. Like pricing was never crazy in Yu-Gi-Oh,
yeah,
but it definitely helps in this game. Like it is very very nice that you can make money out of it, but I mean I would still play it without the pricing probably. Like I enjoy the game, I enjoy the arts and all that kind of stuff, and card games has always been more of a social thing. I'm very competitive. Like I played, sports, rugby league, representative, all that kind of stuff. So I've always been super competitive, but it's a social thing first that is competitive.
yeah.
So
But
it's the trips away.
yeah, so that coming from a competitive team background into something that's is very individual, but the build up to it is quite team based in terms of testing. Is that something that keeps you going as well? Is that like that team based testing?
Yeah, it helps. I mean, it's a big thing. Like even after the weekend, like kind of um seeing the amount of people that kind of reached out and that kind of stuff. Even like our own testing group, two of us making top 16 and that kind of stuff is a nice little reward. And it's definitely nice to see it paying off. It's enjoyable. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's heated. Sometimes people have different opinions and stuff, but it is enjoyable. I do like 3v3s. I think they're so fun. I wish we had more 3v3s. But yeah, I mean, playing by myself is fine as well. I'm more than happy to kind of sit there and do it myself. But yes, I do enjoy a good 3v3 as well.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the I was talking about this with Nice about his cards because does he sell them or does he keep them? And he's still got his I think he's said he's still got his first like champ cereal or whatever it was. But do you keep everything or do you just like nah, that's going?
It depends on what it is. So like, I kept my Whitebeard set, or like the Newgate set that came out for top 16 04, 05, I think it was, until I
Yeah,
got to the
okay.
point where I had to sell it and I got a really good offer for it. But um, it depends on the card. If it's something I really like and it's not worth like 2-3 grand, yeah, I'll keep it. Like if the Yasop was a card that I really liked, it was only $400 or something. Like if it was like a buggy or something like that, I'd keep it. Um, but not you. I'm not too fast because the way I see it, anything can drop whenever. It could go up whenever. Like it's an investment. It's a risk. So yeah, I'm not too fast. Like, I keep certain mats, my turf first top mats, stuff like that. But yeah, like I probably will move the championship mat. I've already got my top cup mat and stuff like that. So I'm not crazy on it. But if I don't sell it for what I want, I'll keep it.
Yeah,
So, but yeah,
yeah,
I'm
fair
not.
enough.
I'm only sentimental for if I like the card rather than not just because I want to keep them. I sell most of them. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And so like we've got Brisbane and then into further on into the you've got Nats.
Hmm.
Is that how far out are you looking at Nats and going, all right, I want to do well at Nats. I've got a track record now and I want to do well at Nats and potentially get one of those spots to or the spot to Japan. Probably need more spots in Oceania, but
Hmm.
it's a
Yeah.
different topic altogether, really, isn't
Yeah.
it?
If we get two, Braden will lose it. He got second last year, so that won't be good.
Yeah.
But um, I mean, I think last year we were testing. Once we knew the format and kind of saw overseas in Asia like what it was like. I mean, ours is always going to be a bit different, but you kind of look at the top 3, 4 decks and kind of go, okay, we're going to test these, and you kind of know what you like and what you don't like, and then once the set comes out, it's just go to town. Like if I think last year we got 6 weeks, 2 months or something with the set, so we tested a fair bit. Or
Yeah.
maybe even longer. I think it was because it was Dofi. So like I think me and Braden played Dofi for 2 formats. Like we were over that forever. We were lucky enough that it was around for that long. But yeah, the longest as long as you can for something like that. But everything is good practice. Like really, like I don't think we go crazy hard into it, but we definitely like lock in on what we're gonna play and matchups and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Because we were talking about that with Newcastle guys the other day, and I think, like, I'm not sure when nationals will be on, but we were looking at the release dates because they're shifting them all around to get them into
The
that
synchronized release.
global release.
Yeah.
There is one that's released on like January 7 or something.
Yeah, so that'll be our Nats will probably be the end of that month. It's usually the
Yeah,
long weekend for New South Wales, which I think is second week or third
26
week, 26. Yeah. So
around then.
we'll have 2 weeks, maybe three.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
which is
but does that?
crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, right? Because we were like, that's OP14
Yeah,
and half of EBO3.
yeah, yeah.
And we're like, how?
It'll be thrown into the mix, and we'll get a little bit of it from Asia. Luckily, like we'll get to see some of it, but the West has always been different in certain aspects. The playstyle's been the playstyle's been different in every card game from the West and the East forever. Like it's never been the exact same, and even back, when the game was more simpler with like Zora and all that kind of stuff. We're a lot more aggressive over here than they are over
Yeah,
there. So yeah, the meta's always a little bit different. So it's hard. It's not exact, but it's a good guide.
yeah. So in that instance where we potentially only have 2, 3 weeks, how important does the sim become for you then?
Yeah, The Sim's good. I mean, The Sim is a godsend. Like, no other card game has something that good. I mean, I guess there's like Dueling Book and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that, but it is the amount of effort they put into that, and it's very very good. But Sim is up and down. Sometimes you verse very very good players, sometimes you don't. But there's always things you can take from every game. But a lot of our testing is done locals and in our group. Like we have a pretty solid group. There's a few of us that play like a lot of games, so we'll just test with each other and try different decks and go from there. But the Sim's definitely used. Like I've definitely played a fair bit of Sim.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty handy resource to have, especially
Yeah,
for me in sort of more rural space where it's hard for me to get to locals. The Sims just unreal,
yeah,
really.
yeah. It's
But
very
there's a
good.
lot of like third party tools out there as well, right?
Yeah,
Like,
there's heaps, and there's like different card games have them. But the time they put into the Sim and the way they've done it is very very good. Um, and we're lucky enough that I guess Bandai let us have it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah, because was it Lorcana and Riftbound both had theirs shut down, right?
yeah, right. Shut it down. They want to make their own. Oh, they have something
Yeah,
in the works.
right. And
Yeah,
Disney, man,
I got no idea what they're doing. Yeah, they'll ruin
what a
it. They'll
combo.
ruin it.
Yeah. I'll see how it goes, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see because it has like such a huge following, right? But you would expect that it would just fly,
Yeah, yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. Even like the booster box, I think is like astronomically priced.
yeah. They I don't know. I think if they want a game, this was I don't know if it's the first game, but it's one of the first games that Bandai has done a good job in actually keeping alive.
Yeah,
Like I was a fan of Fusion World, but it took one set and they shot that game in the foot. The second set got released and they ruined the game straight away. And then you look at regionals now, it's like, oh, there's 40 people.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just not a lot of people want to travel to an event to play against 40 people. It's you might as well go to locals.
yeah, yeah. There was some of the guys went down to the Sydney Dragon Ball, and they were like, I was like, how'd you go? And they go, oh, I got top 64. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
There was 65 people.
yeah. It's just nuts. Like, yeah, they did the same thing with Masters, I guess, and Digimon and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's why I was a bit hesitant with the game, but it's still going, so we'll see what
Yeah,
happens. Hopefully, it keeps going strong.
yeah, yeah. So, what are you looking forward then to the global release?
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I mean, there's always been a little bit of beef between East and West about originality, deck building, and all this because we get the set so much later. It's hard to have an original take that hasn't already been found. Obviously, there's a crazy amount of good players over in the East, so they go through a lot of it. But it'll be nice to kind of see what people do without a base. There's Twitter's a thing, and when cards get released, kind of vision of it, and people put decks together early. There's that, but yeah, when they have 3 months of a format and we get into it, it's kind of already sold. So it'll be nice to see kind of what it's like when we all get to do it for the first time and not get to see a template, I guess.
Yeah. Are you? Do you consider yourself a deck builder? Because I'm not. I net deck.
Yeah, I think coming from Yu-Gi-Oh, majority of people have to have some sense of deck building, but I think coming from that game specifically, at least I feel if you go into a lot of other games, you have an advantage because it's so much more to it, and so I don't know. I think you do. You go if you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you can play a lot of other games at a fairly high level.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. It's like what you were saying then about like cards come out on Twitter and you see people and they're like rushed to make deck lists and stuff like that. Like specifically Emu when it was announced just recently, and it's like everyone's rushing to make decks. I'm like, you only need like 20 cards in that deck, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah. People go
you get them
crazy.
into trash and you win by the look of it.
Yeah. Some people
But
have too much time on their hands.
yeah. Uh, but do you look that far forward now as well? Or are
Um,
you focused on this
no,
going into OP12?
we'll focus on OP12 and then a month probably out of OP13, we'll start to test a little bit on Sim just between the boys and cook some stuff up and see what we can do. And then as it comes out, we'll pretty much have our deck list sorted, and then test it against locals, all that kind of stuff, and then if something needs to change, we can change it then. But yeah, we all pretty much go into the next format with our deck solved weeks before it gets released because of obviously the non-synchronized release at the moment. But yeah, it's yeah, it'll be nice to see what happens when we don't have that kind of 3 months to do whatever we want with it.
Yeah, it would be interesting because we were talking about that the other day, just in my little group, because some of the guys go to Singapore a fair bit,
Mm,
and they were like, when it's that global release, will we be allowed to play in the Singapore sort of comps, or will you still need to be a citizen or, or a resident, whatever it is,
mm,
to be able to play there? So it'd be interesting to see that what happens there as well,
yeah, yeah,
if everyone's on the same sort of level. Because yeah, I don't know, be
yeah.
global playing, I guess. I
I
don't
think
know.
East and West is definitely a lot closer than people think. I think there are a concentration of very very good players in the East, but I think there's an abundance. Like there's maybe not the same concentration of it in the West. I think there's also less players probably, but yeah, I think it's a lot closer than people think. There's some very very good players in. I mean, in Oz, let alone Europe. I mean, even in Oz, we've got Elliot Charters and Cam and the amount of very earnest, the amount of very very good top players that we have over here, and even Europe. Like Europe has some insanely good players. Yeah, I think it's Worlds is very very tight. I mean, it is every year. It's fairly competitive. Even if you look in America, how many insane players they have, Jonas and Clyde. Like
Yeah, yeah.
they're just they're on a different level. But it's nice to play against those people and get a few dubs and stuff like that. So yeah,
For someone like me who's sort of sitting at that 4-4, like top 128 in that sort of region, what would be your sort of main recommendation for someone like in that level that wants to get better and get their top 64 as a start? Like where would you send me to focus?
I mean the right deck is the main thing. I mean, there's a few boys in the group that'll pick decks that I wouldn't be a top five pick, and then they do bad, and they're not they don't get very happy. They're not happy with it and stuff like that. But I mean, if you go into a form into an event with a deck that isn't one of the better decks, generally not going to do very well. It's just the way it is. And then testing. I mean, you got to test. You don't know your deck. You got to know what to do against each deck. But they're the main things. I mean, if you're confident, because the more you test, the more confident you are. And then if you are someone who gets nervous, if you go into a match against something that you know what to do, and you stick to that one thing, you get confidence from it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
they're the
that's
two main things.
yeah, yeah. No, that's really good advice. Because I think I don't know. I might have to drop Bonnie into Brisbane, see how we go. But
I think the deck gets better as we go
yeah, it
further.
definitely gets better. Yeah,
So there is hope for it in the next few
yeah.
formats.
I know because I was all gung ho. I was like, nah, I'm switching. I'm going for the top meta deck the next round, and then they were like, oh, with the bans,
Mm.
assuming Hody doesn't get banned. But
If they ban Hody and have printed this event, I think they've lost their minds. But yeah,
yeah, I was like, I can't see why they would ban Hody. It's like we don't
no,
have much good
the card's
cards.
crazy, but
Yeah,
I think it'll be probably Big Mum. Big Mum's probably the number one target that's getting shot. I think if they ban, much as Gum Gum's a crazy card, if they ban it, so many decks get killed.
yeah, yeah.
I think
Because
Big Mum will
it's
probably get just shot in the head.
yeah, because Gum Gum's not an issue in like purple Luffy. Like if Gum Gum was the issue, right, all the Luffy decks would be crazy, or any Straw Hat deck that was
Yeah,
purple.
if you shoot Gum Gum, purple GP. I mean, UP probably still just plays. There's probably not a big issue. But
Yeah,
it's GP dies and normal purple Leafy probably definitely not as good.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think they just probably get rid of the life recursion with Big Mum. There's a few other little hits I think they could do. Probably something to Betty. I hate that deck, but yeah, there's a few things, but I don't think it's going to be crazy.
yeah.
We
Everyone's
had
like,
more we had Moria Gecko Moria for like 3 4 formats longer than we should have, so
yeah,
they're not in a
yeah, that was
rush.
a crazy card. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. That as a green player, Gecko. Moria was like my worst nightmare. I was like, that comes out. Ugh,
Yeah. Yeah,
just
I'm not a
yeah,
fan, but unfortunately
yeah,
it was around for a long time.
yeah. Cool. Righto. Well, thanks for being on. Uh, always finish on the same question, whether or not you're an anime, manga, or live action fan. What's your flavor?
I'm more manga. I mean, I mean, the One Piece live action's cool, but yeah, I don't. I'd probably read more manga if I had the chance, but yeah, anime is just I like watching it. It's just more entertaining.
Yeah,
I'm a visual
yeah,
learner.
yeah, yeah. Me too. Very
Yeah,
much so. That's an excellent way to describe it.
yeah,
Yeah. So anyway, man, congratulations again on your first win there.
sweet,
Very proud moment for yourself, and yeah, congratulations.
sweet.
Well deserved and well achieved.
Thanks,
Yeah, and thanks for coming on.
sweet. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye.